In this video we're going to learn how to draw a simple finger or comb jointed box which is going to be cut out of acrylic on the laser cutter. You can see an example of three pieces of this box on the right hand side of the screen. We have one side, two sides and a lid. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the grid lock button, which is over on the Draw Edit toolbar on the right hand side, is depressed. As we draw our box, that will make sure that the shape snaps to the grid, which should be set at a default 10mm. Once we've done that, I'm going to go across to the drawing toolbar on the left hand side of the screen, and I'm going to go down to the third shape on the left, which is a rectangle. I'm going to go onto my page and I'm going to draw out a box which is 100 by 100. Now, in order to ascertain what size that is, if you have a look down at the bottom where it says Rel, as you draw your box you should be able to tell when you get to 100 by 100, set that shape. So I'm going to click to start, drag my box out, pay attention to that size at the bottom of the sheet. Once I'm happy that it's 100 minus 100, I'm going to click to set that shape. Now we're going to do both sides at the same time, so we can either copy and paste or we can drag out another shape. Again, click to set. Once we're happy with the shape sizes, next thing to do is to go down again on the left hand side toolbar to construction points, and what I want to do is move across to the third point, which is drawing a construction point at a given distance along an object, and if you let go you should see that the default is 10mm. Now we want to change, in this case, our construction point to 30, and once we click OK our cursor should change to a locate button, and if we go to the top left hand side of the line where we want to locate the button, click on locate and you should see that a little guide point comes there. Again, now go to the bottom, click on that line and you will see a guide or construction point there. Repeat this as many times as you need. I'm going to draw construction points on all of the sides. Now, before I draw any lines to help me guide where I'm going to put my inner or outer fingers, what I'm going to do is just go back to my left hand toolbar and I'm going to this time go to contour. Click on contour. The default is 5, but we've previously changed this to 3. We're going to select graphical path and click OK. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to click just on the inside of this line and just on the inside of that line. Now we can draw our lines that join the boxes. Click on your lines at the top left, and what I'm also going to do this time is I'm going to get rid of gridlock and click on attach, and this should allow your line that you're about to draw to snap to that construction point. As long as the construction point is within that box shape, you should find that that is fairly accurate. I'm going to draw that there, and I'm going to draw that there. Notice I'm not drawing one from one side of the box to the other and then treating the second box as another box and then drawing one from the first side to the other. It's simple to do it this way. You can always, if you like, get rid of the middle lines. Now that I've got my guidelines, I'm simply going to go down to Del on the left hand toolbar. I'm going to click and hold my left hand mouse button and scroll across to the second button, which is deleting part of an object. If I left it on the default, which is Del Any, what happens is it will delete the entire object. We can get round that by going on to Undo Last. Click on Del Any, scroll across by holding the left hand mouse button down to Del Part. Now it's worth mentioning here that if I removed all of my lines, then I'm going to have to redraw some in. So you have to give it some thought when you are removing certain lines. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that line there and that line there. And then I'm going to take out the middle lines. I don't need this one. And I don't need these. And I don't need that, or that, or that, or that. At this point I'm just going to remove these, and you should be able to see that you have a box which is very similar to the one on the right hand side in red. For this box here, I need the fingers to be opposite to the one on the left, and I need them to go on the outside. I'm not going to remove these top lines because again I would simply have to put those back in. If I did remove them, the size of my side would be 6mm smaller. That's 3mm at the top and 3mm at the bottom. So I can save myself an awful lot of work by taking a little bit of care. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on that one there and that one there. I'm then going to click on the middle lines because I don't need those, and I'm going to remove that one there and that one there and the two side ones there. Now we've almost finished, but for this next part I'm just going to zoom in. So if you go down to left hand toolbar, click and hold on media, and then go to the first button which is in, drag a box and click, you should be able to see that your boxes are enlarged. Now in this case I'm going to have to move that toolbar over to the left. What I need to do is I need to extend the lines here and here and here and here. The easiest way to do that is to ensure that gridlock again is still off and attach is still on. Click back onto your line, and then again in the same way that you use the construction points, click on the corner here and draw a vertical line there. Now you have to move far enough past the shape so that the line doesn't attract to any other part of the shape. I find that that's about okay. Make sure that's straight up and do the same. Just slightly do that again. It's worth taking some time here to make sure that's absolutely accurate, because you want your box to be accurate. And once we've done that, back to Dill, Part, get rid of any pieces of that line that you don't want. Now because I've gone a little bit higher up, I don't need that part anymore. And I don't need that part. Now in effect I've drawn myself two sides of my box. The next stage is to draw the lid, and in order to do that we will need to position again an inner finger on this box and an outer finger on this box. Before I go any further, so that I know that this is finished, I'm going to change that to red.